A deadly standoff in Lake County. Investigators say 2 people have been confirmed dead after SWAT teams and tanks stood by for hours outside of a Claremont apartment complex.
And a suspect taken down in Orlando. What police say made him so angry, he pulled a knife on a gas station worker.
Also had Florida gets its report card back and things aren't looking great. Where students in the Sunshine State are falling behind.
WESH 2 News Sunrise starts right now.
And a good Thursday morning here at 5 o'clock. I'm Sonica Dange.
And I'm Jason Guy. Fog is not what it was over the last few mornings, so we're getting a bit of relief in that department, but the heat is still with us.
Yeah, that warming trend continues as we get you right over to First Warning meteorologist Kelly in class. We're ready again to hit the 80s.
Yeah, mid-80s and well above average by about almost 10 degrees today. I want to get you started with at least a look outside because it's a huge difference from what we've had over the past couple of days. Lakefront Park out in Osceola County from our weather station camera showing nothing but clear conditions. And for most of Central Florida, we're looking good for visibilities. We're just going to be watching Brevard County for a little bit of fog right now. Melbourne, you're down to about a mile visibility. Out in Ocala, nothing but clear conditions as well, which is interesting because there is a dense fog advisory until 10. But right now, we're not seeing any dense fog, and I don't think any fog is going to develop as we go throughout the morning hours in western Marion County. But we'll continue to monitor that. Otherwise, this afternoon, more sunshine, highs in the 70s, but mainly 80s. We'll talk about this warming trend coming up in a few minutes. First, though, let's get over to First Warning traffic expert Megan Mackey.
Kelly, and heading out the door, there's a crash along the turnpike from about 4:30 this morning, working to clear. It's southbound here in between State Road the 429 and the 408. So that busy stretch there in between those two interchanges. It's on the southbound side off onto the shoulder. It was reported as a hit and run crash, so just some small delays through this area, but the longer it takes to clear, the bigger those backups will become. So anticipate just some small slowdowns there. I-4 we're off to a great start though. This is a live look from our tower camera in WESH 2 looking towards downtown Orlando. No fog to deal with here, but coming up in a few minutes, we'll check in on some of those live cameras along I-95.
Megan, thanks. This morning, we are working to find out who started a standoff in Claremont that ended with 2 people dead. It happened at the Cottonwood Apartments on Hooks Street. That's where we find our WESH 2's Bob Hazen live this morning. And Bob, this police say the suspect fired shots at them.
Yeah, and we're told that gunfire happened as soon as officers went inside a unit here at this apartment complex. But at this point, they haven't explained what might have exactly started that standoff. And Claremont police say eventually the SWAT team did go inside and found that suspect dead. He'd apparently shot himself. We're told that he was in his late 20s, had been in a relationship with the woman who was killed. Their names, though, have not been released. And we also found out that Claremont officers did fire shots back at that suspect during that initial confrontation, so FDLE is also involved in this investigation. Covering Lake County live in Claremont, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
All right, Bob. An Orange County middle school teacher has been arrested on federal charges, authorities say. 25-year-old Italo Brett Bonini is being accused of having children perform sex acts for him over video chat. WESH 2's Paola Tristan Arruda is live in front of Hunters Creek Middle School. And Paola, that's where he was employed.
Yeah, Jason, and the principal of the school has made it clear that Bonini will not be able to come back to the school during the investigation. When questioned by investigators, Bonini allegedly told them that he, quote, fell into temptation that I should not have. I'm not a sick individual. I made a mistake. Now, he did admit to investigators that he did communicate with the boys through Discord, and he was a music teacher at the school. Covering Orange County live in Orlando, Paola Tristan Arruda, WESH 2 News.
The man accused in an Orlando home invasion is now facing an additional first-degree murder charge. It comes after the victim died from her injuries. Lucy Pat Curl was 85 years old and the wife of a longtime Orlando pastor. Loved ones say she was in a coma this week, suffering a brain bleed, but family took her off life support. Police say the suspect, Ronald Dwayne Davis, posed as a community officer to force his way into her home last week, beat her, and robbed the home.
Orlando police have arrested a man who they say threatened a store clerk with a knife. Investigators tell WESH 2 News Rodney Clemens was upset over the price of a drink and a cigar. So they say he pulled a knife out of his backpack and threatened to kill a 7-Eleven clerk. The victim says the suspect also pushed stuff off a table and threw a bottle at him. This happened back in January on the 25th on Edgewater at West Colonial Drive. Now, Clemens is facing several charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
A Seminole County woman is being held without bond after Sanford police say she shot and killed her boyfriend. 34-year-old Sarah Jamison faced a judge yesterday. Police say on Friday they found 31-year-old Brandon Sullivan bleeding out on the ground outside of Jamison's apartment with a gunshot wound to the abdomen. An arrest report says police found doorbell video showing Sullivan hit Jamison in the face and pushed her. They say that's when she pulled out a gun and shot him. Investigators say the video contradicts some of Jamison's statement. That's when they decided to arrest her for second-degree murder.
She's a documented victim of domestic abuse by the decedent in this case. The decedent in this case has also been arrested and went to prison 2 times, one for attempted murder on somebody else. So I think the evidence will bear out in time.
I just hope we get justice and the truth comes out. And yeah, his kids now have to grow up without their dad's contagious laugh and all the things he used to do with him, and it's not fair.
Jamison's next court date is on April 1st. Today, Brevard County Fire Rescue is issuing a plea to the county leadership. BCFR says they have lost 121 emergency personnel over the past year because of a lack of support from the county. They say that's 20% of their staff, and the losses have forced many to work overtime. In the past, the union has blamed the problems on lower pay compared to other departments in the area. They'll hold a rally today at 11 a.m. at the Viera Government Center to lay out their requests as negotiations between the union and the county remain at a standstill.
All right, it's 5:09. We're talking about the heat as we get to your first warning weather.
Yeah, and heat is the appropriate word. We're not just talking about warm weather, especially in this first week of February.
Yeah, our temperatures this week expected to reach the middle 80s. Keep in mind, our average high is 74 degrees. And today we're going to be at 83. We'll be at 83 on Friday, 84 Saturday, and 85 degrees on Sunday. So unseasonably hot, we'll call it. Now, for some, we're going to get close to our records. Here in Orlando on Friday, we're going to be 3 degrees shy of the record of 86. Saturday, not even close to the record of 88 with a high of 84 rather. And then on Sunday, our record is 87, but we have a forecast high of 85. So we're going to be 2 degrees shy of that record. All of this to say it's going to be hot. Today, at least, it's going to be enjoyable. If you do like the 80s, we'll have plenty of sunshine for the afternoon. We're going to be tracking a few areas of fog this morning, but not as widespread as what we've been dealing with over the past couple of days. We'll show you coming up in just a few minutes. First, that was 5:10. Let's get over to First Warning traffic expert Megan Mackey.
Yeah, Kelly, unfortunately, the fog not too visible in our traffic cameras this morning. This is I-95 traveling in Brevard County, just south of the beach line. You can see a little foggy here, but not looking too dense for your morning drive. So a nice change heading out the door on this Thursday morning. Downtown, this is a live look at I-4. This stretch here, clear and quiet, no construction delays, but I'm still monitoring that issue along the turnpike near the State Road 429 interchange. We'll check back in with that crash coming up in a few short minutes.
If you are driving on State Road 40 in Lake and Volusia counties, be extra cautious because of fog and smoke. This is due to a wildfire near Astor. The Florida Department of Transportation expects visibility to be low until about 9 a.m. They're asking drivers to use their low beam headlights, slow down, and reduce distractions in your car. That means turn the radio down and put your phone away. They are also asking drivers to be patient and avoid passing cars or quickly changing lanes. So far, thousands of federal employees have resigned since President Trump took office.
But the White House says even more need to go. The deal President Trump's offering to clean house in the federal government that's ending today.
And Democrats holding an all-night protest on the Senate floor. The Trump nominee they do not want to see confirmed.
I'm Greg Fox. On the next WESH 2 Investigates, during the COVID-19 pandemic, when we were all fighting to stay healthy, businesses were struggling to keep their doors open. Crooks were stealing our money.
They're taking it from all of us.
Sports cars, multi-million-dollar mansions, COVID loan fraud. We talked with the top local prosecutor who's fighting to get our money back. WESH 2 Investigates tonight at 6.
Watching WESH 2.
Today is the deadline for federal workers to resign and accept a buyout from the Trump administration.
So far, the White House says at least 40,000 federal workers have resigned, which is lower than their goal of 5 to 10%. Yesterday, protesters stood in front of Florida's Capitol building protesting the Trump administration's policies. This was all part of the 50 States 50 protest demonstration.
And people across the country marched in opposition of President Donald Trump. Protesters showed up with signs like "Deport Elon" and "Stop the Oligarchy" to express their discontent. Now, the marches were organized by that 50 States 50 protest movement. The group says its concerns, the key ones, are the eroding of civil liberties.
All of our elected officials in Iowa, I implore you to respect the oath you took to defend our Constitution and go take some action against this administration.
Although many protested outside of Capitol buildings, protests were also reported outside Trump Tower in Chicago.
Right now, a live look at the Senate floor as Senate Democrats are protesting the nomination of President Trump's pick for Office of Management and Budget Director, Russell Vought. All night long, Democrats have been speaking on the Senate floor about this. It's not expected to affect the final vote, but as he's likely to confirmed along party lines once 30 hours of debate ends at 7 o'clock tonight. He's co-author of Project 2025, who served as a platform policy director for the Republican National Committee.
Pam Bondi was sworn in as the new U.S. Attorney General. Bondi was sworn in to lead the Justice Department in the Oval Office by Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. President Trump praised Bondi, saying her leadership of the DOJ could be historic. One of her first moves in office is to order a review of the criminal cases brought against Trump. Today, we could learn more about how $133.5 million in federal disaster recovery funding could be used for Hurricane Milton recovery and mitigation efforts in Volusia County. Last month, the county held 4 public meetings about the Transform 386 initiative. Volusia County residents could voice their opinions about how they wanted those funds to be used. There will be a public hearing at 5 o'clock this evening at the Thomas C. Kelly Administration Center in DeLand.
This year's hurricane season is now 114 days away. As we know, it always starts on June 1st and on this day 4 of Severe Weather Awareness Week. First Warning meteorologist Eric Burris is showing us how weather teams track hurricanes and flooding. Don't miss that report at 9 a.m. on CW18.
Okay, and we have very quiet weather, although it's very hot too.
Yeah, but we'll take it compared to what we're going to be seeing in 100+ days.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait when we're talking about the 90s. Feels like temperatures in the triple digits. So, I mean, the mid 80s sounds pretty nice right now. We will absolutely take it. Now, today we're not looking at record heat, but we're going to be what we call unseasonably warm. Our average high is 74 degrees. We're going to be about 10 degrees above that average high. For Orlando, we are nowhere near our record high of 89 degrees. Very happy to say that. Although Leesburg today, you're going to be about 2 degrees shy of your record of 85 degrees from 2004. So we have the warmth. We're already feeling pretty comfortable this morning. Maybe a light jacket for some of our locations back towards the west as we're waking up to temperatures in the upper 50s. Most of us, though, are in the low and middle 60s to start, with the warmest location at the moment in Sanford at 67 degrees. What's going to happen over the next couple of days is we get this high pressure that's going to build and strengthen. And not only is it going to keep us on the dry side in our 7-day forecast, not really tracking a lot of rain, but it's going to warm us up middle 80s over the next 7 days, where Sunday is going to be the warmest day at 85. And for Orlando, that's going to be 2 degrees shy of the record of 87 degrees. So get ready for the heat, though happy to say it's not the 90s. As you get the kids ready for school, just know we are watching for some patchy fog. Right now in Port Canaveral, conditions are looking fantastic compared to what we had yesterday. For most of us in Central Florida this morning, I'm not concerned about fog, though we are down to a half-mile visibility in Palm Coast, and we're going to be monitoring the fog down in southern Brevard County. Right now, Melbourne, you're down to a 3-mile visibility, but Palm Bay, you're down to a 1/10 of a mile. And we're about a half-mile visibility in Melbourne Beach as well as Micco. So we're going to be monitoring the fog, but at the moment, no dense fog advisory for Brevard County. As we go into the afternoon, then we'll have plenty of sunshine. Maybe you're thinking about a beach day today. Looking pretty good. All of our beach locations this afternoon expected to top out in the low 80s, and our inland spots today in the middle and upper 80s. But if you do have beach plans today, just know we have a moderate risk of rip currents, where low tide is going to be at 8:37 this morning and high tide right around 2:31 in the afternoon. And don't forget that sunscreen. Even though it's February, our UV index is on the high side. It's at a 6. which means burn time is about 45 minutes. That continues into tomorrow, where tomorrow afternoon, inland spots low to mid 80s. Our coastline because of a weak sea breeze developing in the middle and upper 70s. Central Florida certified most accurate forecast. It doesn't really have a lot going on, which we like for this time of year. We can enjoy the sunshine, go to the theme parks, water parks, beaches, pools, and not have to worry about any thunderstorms. A couple of passing showers possible Monday and Tuesday. Other than that, mostly sunny and dry. It is 5:21. Let's get over to first warning traffic expert Megan Mackey.
Kelly, good morning. Heading out the door, there's still this crash I'm monitoring along the turnpike. This is from earlier, reported as a hit and run crash. It is southbound in between State Road 429 and that 408 interchange. So that busy stretch right there. It's off onto the shoulders, not blocking any lanes, but there are just some small slowdowns here as those cars move over into those right lanes this morning. So I'll continue to keep my eye on that this morning. No other issues though heading out the door on this Thursday. I-4 off to a clear and quiet start. No need for those express lanes so far, and I'm not seeing any construction delays either. So a great start if you're getting ready to head out early on this Thursday, and those travel times not bad. In Osceola County, there are those theme parks between Champions Gate and downtown. We're still in the green at 23 minutes in both directions.
Right now, a Central Florida organization is offering free classes trying to fill the gap in the phone technician workforce.
Founder says it was his son who inspired him to take on this mission.
Jonathan is very unique. Jonathan, when you meet him, he clearly has autism, but he's also one of the most incredibly social kids with autism I've ever met.
How this twofold mission is offering adults with disabilities independence.
Clear skies after days of dense fog for so many Central Florida mornings.
Yeah, it's nice and refreshing. First warning meteorologist Kellyanne Klass is tracking the warm weather across Central Florida.
Plus, overnight, police secure the scene of a deadly standoff in Claremont. The tense hours as people in this apartment complex were forced to shelter in place.
Closed captioning brought to you by National Floors Direct. Closed captioning sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell phone.
An Orange County teacher is claiming he fell into temptation. Now he's in custody, accused of talking kids into sex acts for video game currency.
Deputies in Marion County chase a suspect speeding out of a club parking lot. Just how fast this chase got before he was finally put to a stop.
And a Seminole County judge was admonished for his actions on the bench, why Florida Supreme Court justices didn't give him a harsher sentence.
WESH 2 News Sunrise starts right now.
And we welcome you in to Sunrise here at 5:30 on a Thursday. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Sonica Dange. A bit of a refreshing pace this morning as we're not waking up and talking about some dense fog across our area. In fact, we've got some beautiful clear skies outside.
We do. Let's get to first warning meteorologist Kellyanne Klass to talk about that and the heat. Kellyanne.
Yeah, it's going to be another warm day ahead as our temperatures top out in the mid 80s, well above our average of 74 degrees. But I want to get you started with a look outside from our weather stem camera in Port Canaveral. A huge difference from what we had this time yesterday. Not seeing any thick or dense fog in Port Canaveral, but for some parts of Brevard County, we're keeping a close eye on that fog. We're down to 1.5 mile visibility in Melbourne and about 1 mile visibility in Mico. At the moment, though, a lot of us not seeing thick and dense fog, down to about 1/2 mile visibility in Palm Coast. So for many of us this morning, not concerned about that. Interestingly enough, there is a dense fog advisory for western Marion County until 10, but I'm not seeing any sort of signals that we're seeing that dense fog. Here's a look outside right now in Ocala, where we have nothing but clear conditions. So this morning, some patchy fog, but then this afternoon, mostly sunny, highs in the 80s. We'll talk about that warming trend coming up in a few minutes. First, though, let's get over to first warning traffic expert Megan Mackey.
Kelly, good morning. I was keeping my eye on an incident along the turnpike, and that just cleared out this morning. It was southbound in between State Road 429 and the 408, but no longer blocking the shoulder, and it has completely cleared out this morning. So good news there. Not going to be any issues for your morning drive. And right now, there's no other crashes to impact you on this Thursday. I-4 in downtown Orlando, we have a clear start here. No construction delays either. We'll check in though with some of those I-4 travel times in Seminole County coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, Megan, to a developing story this morning. Right now, we're working to find out what led up to a shooting and standoff where 2 people were dead in Claremont.
Police there say the suspect also fired shots at officers. It lasted for hours right there at the Cottonwood Apartments. WESH 2's Bob Hazen is there live this morning. Bob, people there said it started when a woman was screaming.
Yeah, definitely a very disturbing afternoon and evening for the people in this apartment complex. They had told police that they saw that woman running from a man. And then later on, when officers got here, they found that woman dead inside an apartment.
An Orange County middle school teacher has been arrested for enticing minors to perform sex acts online.
25-year-old Italo Brett Bonini is facing federal charges. WESH 2's Paola Tristan Arruda is live in front of Hunters Creek Middle School. And Paola, parents there are worried.
Yeah, Jason, even though Bonini didn't make contact with students at this school, parents still find the entire thing troubling.
Paola, thank you. This morning, 3 men are facing charges 8 months after an Ocala man was shot and killed in his own home. Back in June, 24-year-old Derek Brown Jr. was playing video games when a bullet was fired through a window. And now Ocala police have identified and charged the suspects: Blaze White, Frederick Lowe, and Zayshawn Webb. Ocala police didn't have to go far to find the suspects. All 3 were already behind bars on unrelated charges. The relationship between the suspects and the victim is still unclear. So is the motive at this point. 2 of the suspects still have to be transferred to the Marion County Jail, where they will be officially charged with murder.
Osceola County deputies are now investigating after finding skeletal remains. This was in a field near a church on East Earl Bronson Memorial Highway. This map gives you an idea of that area. Investigators believe the remains are an adult man, and no foul play or criminal activity is suspected in this case. Detectives believe they know the man's identity, but if you have information, give the sheriff's office a call. A man is behind bars facing charges, accused of leading Marion County deputies on a dangerously fast chase. Deputies say they saw the driver speeding out of the parking lot of a club.
We're going to be 10. There is minor traffic.
Now, you see there, as deputies try to make a stop, he pretends to pull over, they say, but then makes a U-turn and speeds off. The chase reached speeds of more than 100 miles per hour. Deputies eventually forced the car off the road.
Don't move! Don't move! What in the world were you thinking?
Now that driver, Al Johnson Jr., is facing charges of fleeing.
A new program at the Orange County Jail is designed to help inmates who are struggling with mental health. 43% of people incarcerated in Orange County live with a diagnosed mental illness. And the senior community corrections officer says they formed the New Start program to address symptoms of depression, stress, and anxiety. Through artwork, yoga, and other tools, the county says they're able to help with cognitive behavioral change, communication, and anger management. Up to 24 inmates can participate. 5:38 right now. If you live or work in downtown Orlando, there is a traffic alert you need to know about today.
Yeah, a stretch of Orange Avenue will close for the 12th annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event this evening. We're going to bring in our traffic expert, Megan Mackey, with the details. And Megan, this is really one of the busiest spots in downtown Orlando.
Yeah, it really is. So people who live and work downtown know that these kind of events happen. But just so you're aware, registration for the walk starts at 5 o'clock at the courthouse. And the walk itself gets underway at 6 o'clock this evening. You can see here on the map that Orange Avenue, it'll close partially between Livingston and South Street. And that is where this walk is taking place. The event raises awareness about domestic violence in our community, and proceeds benefit the Harbor House of Central Florida. The walk itself will start at the Orange County Courthouse and end at Orlando City Hall. During the walk, men trade their shoes for women's shoes to literally walk in them, and it's meant to confront gender stereotypes. Both men and women can participate, and it's not too late to sign up. All those details can be found on our website, wesh.com.
Again, thanks. We know all those people who are headed out for that walk this evening should bring a water bottle because it's going to get very hot.
Yes, we are talking about 80s for even at walk time here as we get to First Warning meteorologist Kellyanne Class.
Yeah, our afternoon temperatures inland today around 83 to 84, and even our coastline this afternoon into the lower 80s. That is all thanks to a southwesterly wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, when we talk about records today, we're not looking at record heat, although Leesburg, you're going to come close to your record high of 85 degrees from 2004, with us being about 83 degrees, so 2 degrees shy of that record high. For Orlando, we're nowhere close to that record of 89, and I'm really happy about it. As we go throughout the next couple of days, our temperatures gradually begin to increase. 85 on Sunday, which is going to be the warmest day. We'll talk about how cool we'll get as we start off a new work week in Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Kellyanne. One of Florida's biggest industries is in desperate need of help.
The citrus industry is harvesting less and less crops. Their request for the state legislature ahead of this year's session.
Closed captioning sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial #law on your cell phone.
You're watching WESH 2.
Citrus growers are calling on Florida lawmakers to continue funding research and advertising to help an industry that's seen production drop more than 90% in fewer than 3 decades.
And growers are warning more of the roughly 1,500 remaining citrus growers could leave the industry if nothing here is done. Florida Citrus Mutual CEO Matt Joyner told the Senate Agriculture Committee growers need more funding to beat citrus greening disease, which is killing trees.
Everybody thinks of beaches and Mickey Mouse in the state of Florida, but agriculture, citrus and others, is the heart of this industry.
Florida Citrus Mutual says the Sunshine State produced 244 million boxes of oranges and 50 million boxes of grapefruit in 1998, when the industry was right there at its peak. As a comparison, the U.S. Department of Agriculture projected that this growing season, Florida will produce just 12 million boxes of oranges and 1.2 million boxes of grapefruit, a significant decline.
Yeah. MegaCon Orlando opens today at the Orange County Convention Center. It's one of North America's largest comic, sci-fi, anime, and gaming events. 4-day and single-day passes are still available. MegaCon runs through Sunday. One of the stars who'll be there meeting fans is comedy legend Hank Azaria.
Come see us, Orlando.
So Azaria is probably best known for his iconic voice acting work on The Simpsons. In addition to MegaCon, he'll also be performing tonight at Orlando's Plaza Live with his Easy Street Band. Not the E Street Band, that's Bruce Springsteen. This is a concert tribute to the boss. Azaria and I spoke about his obsession with the boss since childhood, and he's been working on that voice for decades. He explained to me how Springsteen actually connects with The Simpsons. Watch this.
So fun fact, you take Al Pacino, young Al on one end, and Bruce Springsteen on the other end. In the middle there is Mo the bartender, right dead central there, between Springsteen and Pacino.
Now I get how all
you see
came
now
together.
how it works all together there.
Oh, such a great time. All the money from the Plaza Live concert tribute to the boss tonight and from Azaria's MegaCon appearance will go to charity.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Did you try the voices, Jason, after that interview was over?
No. I mean, when
Okay.
somebody's
I was
that
tempted right now.
good, you don't mess around.
Yeah,
No.
that's a good point. We know that there's a lot of stuff happening this evening into this weekend. My goodness, we are dealing with some warm temperatures and warming up.
You know, it's still really wild, at least for me, to think about we had high temperatures last month in the 40s and 50s, and now we're talking about near record heat for some locations as we go into the end of the work week and into the weekend. This is a huge 180 from what we've had, and our warming trend is going to continue where Sunday, that's actually going to be the warmest day at 85 degrees. And it's going to be 2 degrees shy of the record of 87. We're not even close to that record, though, on Saturday. That record is 88 degrees and we'll be at 84. But on Friday, our record is 86. We'll be about 3 degrees shy of that record. So this is going to be unseasonably warm air. The reason why is we have this big ridge of high pressure in place. As it continues to strengthen, not only does it keep us dry, but it heats us up. So really in the next 7 days, we're not looking at any cool down. Most of our temperatures will be around 83 to about 85 degrees. It also means our mornings are going to be much warmer. Many of us in the low and middle 60s, but we do have a couple of upper 50s, including Ocala, the Villages, Wildwood, and Palm Coast at 59 degrees. We are going to be watching for some fog trying to develop, although right now along the tourist district, nothing but clear conditions. And I think for many Central Floridians this morning, we're not concerned about fog, though we are going to be watching into parts of Flagler County and Brevard County to where Palm Coast, Melbourne, Palm Bay is less than a 2-mile visibility, but no more than about 8.5 mile visibility. So what we're just looking at is some patchy fog. Thankfully, it's not widespread dense fog this morning as you get the kids ready for school. Then by this afternoon, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. That sunshine and a southwesterly wind today is going to heat us up around 83 to 84 inland. and our coastline today in the low 80s. And tomorrow afternoon, because of a weak sea breeze developing, we're going to reach the middle and upper 70s for our coastline, inland spots in the low and middle 80s. That high is going to continue into the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday for your weekend plans will have nothing but sunshine and warmth as well. Both weekend days, Saturday and Sunday, getting that green check mark because it's going to be absolutely fabulous. Mostly sunny and warm, maybe a little bit of cloud cover on Sunday, but still going to be very enjoyable. If you are heading to pause in the park on Saturday, no issues there. It's going to be a very warm afternoon and a quite comfortable morning. And then for Mardi Gras Saturday night, if you are heading to the Joe Jonas concert, it's going to be comfortable at 8:30 when the concert starts, 73 degrees. And then by midnight, 67 degrees with mostly clear conditions. Central Florida certified most accurate forecast shows that dry stretch, courtesy to that ridge of high pressure in place. Again, 83 to 84. The only opportunity we have for rainfall will be on Monday and Tuesday. Passing shower possible. Other than that, we are dry. It is 5:50. Let's get over to First Morning Traffic expert Megan Mackey.
Kellyanne, heading out the door right now. I'm seeing some of that fog in our traffic cameras if you're heading out the door. Very southern Brevard County. This is in Palm Bay. A little thick here. Not too dense for your morning drive, but traveling in very southern Brevard, it is going to be noticeable. So traveling near Palm Bay Road, just anticipate some of that fog this morning. We'll continue to keep our eye on that. I-4, though, very clear and quiet for your Thursday. This is what we like to see heading out the door early this morning. No delays in either direction, and also right now, no crashes to impact your morning drive. There was one along the turnpike earlier this morning, but that has cleared out if you were tuning in at the top of the hour, and those travel times this morning are still looking good. A quick check-in on those heading out the door along I-4 westbound from I-95 to the St. Johns River Bridge. We're at 23 minutes from the bridge to Fairbanks Avenue. We're at about 14.
Hundreds of students from all across the country have been nominated for a big honor.
And 3 of them are from right here in Central Florida.
I think a lot of military kids are almost like a dandelion when you think of it. Like the wind just blows us wherever we're supposed to go.
The semifinalists for Military Child of the Year explain what this honor means to them.
Morning weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell phone.
All right. Coming up at 6 o'clock, a standoff in Claremont forced people in an apartment complex to shelter in place for hours.
WESH 2's Bob Hazen is there as police continue their investigation.
Yeah, a woman and her accused killer both found dead after that standoff. The disturbing reports from neighbors that started it all.
Closed captioning is sponsored by the Flooring Center.